Hello, and welcome to the Beyond the Grove podcast. I'm your host, Michael Vincent, and this is a podcast for the community to highlight our alumni, our staff, and other key contributors to the Aspengrove community. We invite you to listen along as we release regular episodes aimed to keep you informed about our programs, provide interviews with alumni, staff, students, and parents, and to highlight key events and developments for the school. Episodes will be made available on the school website and in the e-newsletter. And a special thanks to Ojin Lee for the intro and outro music. Thanks for listening and enjoy the episode. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Grove podcast. We are continuing our series on the strategic plan, and today I'd like to welcome our special guest, the middle and senior school principal, Mr. Robert Ohly. Hi, Rob. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Yeah, good.
All right. We tend to record these later in the afternoon, but we're here bright and early for an early morning recording session. So, yeah, today we're going to talk about one pillar of the strategic plan, and that is the pillar of personalized academic excellence. And we figured you'd be the perfect person to come on the podcast and talk a bit about that. So would you like to maybe address what that looks like and how that might be different than what we've done in the past?
You bet, sure. Yeah, this is really our reimagined graduation program. In British Columbia, the graduation program starts in grade 10. So every course that you do counts towards your graduation and you build up credits. And the ministry gives us a certain amount of courses that our students have to do, which actually in grade 10, it's quite defined. There's not much wiggle room for choice. But as soon as you hit grade 11 and 12, there's very few courses you actually have to do to graduate from BC, which gives a huge amount of flexibility and personalization, and that's where we've really focused on in our new graduation program. We're gonna open up lots of possibilities for student courses, and we're going to provide different pathways for students to follow. So for instance, if you are interested in the arts or the humanities, we're going to be able to provide different courses in that area for you to go deeper into that area and explore and challenge yourself. So we're pretty excited about this new direction.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point because I remember as a kid, in middle school, you have to take science, you have to take math, you have to take English, you have to take social studies. But the cool thing about high school is then you get to branch out and maybe take like some cooking classes or a psychology class or geography or something different. So I think opening up course offerings will be pretty exciting for our students. So I think obviously a big shift for us next year is we're moving away from the full diploma program for the high school and adopting the AP model. So do you want to talk a bit about that decision and why that's a good decision for our school going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. And it just ties in beautifully to how we want or what we want to offer our students. The IB diploma program is a good program, but it's very rigid. You have to study courses for 2 years, which means if you start in grade 11, you have to follow that course through grade 12, so for the 2 years. And you have to do one subject in the different subject areas, which doesn't give much breadth of study or depth of study in areas that you might have a real special interest. And I just mentioned the humanities. You can only do 2 humanities courses over the 2 years if you do the IB diploma, because you lock yourself in for the 2 years. So it is a good program, but for what we're looking for our students, it didn't seem to be the best in the direction that we wanted to go. So, yeah, you're going to ask me a question?
Yeah, it's just interesting because I think you and I have a sort of unique perspective because I think a lot of parents actually don't know this, but we used to have the AP program at Aspengrove before we went to full diploma, and you and I both taught AP before we taught full diploma. And certainly, I think it's a good point that there is a lot of versatility and flexibility involved with AP because you can tailor course offerings to individual cohorts of students. And as you say, because you're not locked into 2-year courses, you can offer more options so students could take one option in grade 11 and then another course in grade 12, as opposed to have to take like history for 2 years or geography for 2 years.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're not sacrificing our academic rigor, and in this new model, you just mentioned AP. That's the advanced placement. It's a US-based curriculum. That is first-year university-level courses that we can offer in high school. So we are going to offer courses, AP courses, and they're going to be optional for the students. So if you are really into the humanities, you can take 4 APs in that area, and you can really challenge yourself. That's going to look great for university applications. Plus, it's going to provide a really fantastic challenge for the students. But again, it all goes back to that personalization. I'm imagining most of our students will probably take maybe 2 to 4 APs, but it could be quite possible we have students that take 0 APs, and that is going to be totally fine. They're still going to get an enriched academic experience because they're here at Aspengrove with our amazing teachers and our atmosphere of learning. And so we've got an absolutely flexible and personalized experience now through grade 11 and 12. And I've been talking about the humanities. It's exciting for the STEM side. In the IB diploma program, our students couldn't do all 3 sciences, and now there's a pathway to take all 3 sciences through grade 11s and 12. And again, if you want to challenge yourself, you could do an AP in chemistry or physics and really challenge yourself in that area. So it's exciting for the possibilities that our students are going to get, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense why it's called the personalized academic excellence, because with the AP program, you can sort of calibrate the degree of academic rigor and difficulty that you want for yourself. So as you say, you could take 1 course at AP level, or you could take 5 courses at AP level, and students can kind of customize. Did you see that as an advantage?
Oh, absolutely. And what's really exciting, now we can blend some grade 11s and 12s, and I'm certain that we will have grade 11 students now taking grade 12 AP courses, because of the flexibility without the rigidity of the IB diploma. Now, all options are open. I'm very hopeful that next year you'll be offering AP psychology, and I absolutely expect some of grade 11s to take that kind of university grade 12 course, which I think is going to be fantastic for them. It means in their grade 11 year, they will get a university admissible course done. They'll get a grade 12 course done, and they will have a little bit more certainty going into their grade 12 year. Lots of possibilities like that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that is really exciting, just being able to offer new courses and courses that students want. And I remember as a teacher, even having a mix of grade 11s and 12s was nice, just for shaking up the social dynamics. And it's nice for the students, too, to have other students in other grades that they can be in classes with. Do you want to talk to parents who maybe don't know how the university advantages work with AP? Do you want to speak to that briefly? So what are the advantages of taking an AP course as it pertains to university credit?
Yeah. If you're applying to a university, let's say you're applying to, UBC is a great example. If you apply to UBC to any of their programs, let's say science, you're going into the Faculty of Science, they want to see how in high school you are challenging yourself and what are you doing to maximize your chances of success at university. They want to see you doing some advanced courses in that area that you're studying for. So they want to see some AP courses. So they're looking for that. They're looking for you to challenge yourself and show that you're actually sort of dedicated and interested in that subject. So there's that side of things are going to look really good. The other thing is sort of a practical thing. If you get a certain score on any of your AP courses, then you're eligible for university transfer credit, which means they will give you an equivalent university credit, which means you won't need to take that course at university. Good example would be if you did AP literature course here and you got a certain mark, they would waive, or they would give you credit for first year English, which means you could go, and this has happened. Let's say you go to UBC and you're studying engineering and you've got your AP English mark. It means you don't need to take first year English, and you've got a slightly less busy course load that first semester, and also you save that money because you don't have to pay for that course.
I remember in 2013, 2014, some of our students taking 4 AP classes and then going to university and having 4 of their first year courses already accounted for. And so that allowed them to work or take other elective courses or just have a slightly easier semester so they could do well in their other classes. So yeah, that's a pretty exciting prospect. Also, I think you were saying there's some courses that may not be AP, but that are more specialized that students have also wanted that we could offer. Do you want to speak to that for a moment?
Yeah, I'm going to do a disclaimer and say that we haven't finalized exactly what our courses are going to look like starting in September 2025. But so, I mean, I talked about expanding our offerings. We're looking both in the sort of STEM and the humanities and the arts. So I'm excited that we might be able to offer film studies.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, if only we had a good teacher who could, teach film studies.
Yeah, who could do that?
Yeah, maybe they could do a specialty horror unit. So yeah, that's one course which looks like we could get going. I'm really keen to get computer science going. Mr. Rendell right now is busy sorting through boxes and boxes of robotics kit that we've just ordered, and hopefully in the next year also we're competing sort of nationally or certainly on the island in some robotics competitions. So that would be great to get a computer science course going. It's likely we can offer like a law studies course, and it could be that these will start off as sort of a enriched BC Dogwood courses, and then hopefully give the option to extend them into AP course in the grade 12 year.
Excellent. No, that's really exciting. And then finally, do you want to just speak to, I think as Aspengrove looks to have more co-curricular offerings, more athletics offerings, and other specialty programs with like global travel. So what are the other advantages of the AP program, maybe as opposed to the diploma program, if we're looking for kids to be more versatile in what they do at the school?
Yeah, I said this anecdote at a parent meeting recently, but I did a sort of a information fact giving trip to Shawnigan Lake School. And I was being taught by a grade 12 student, and I was curious to see how many AP exams or AP classes she was taking. And she said she's taken 0. She's not taken any AP classes. And then she started to talk about what she wanted, why she didn't do that. And she was doing the drama production, the musical, in their MUN club, and really sort of doubling down on the student life side of school. And I love that. At the end of the day, students are going to remember these experiences, these exemplary experiences that we're aiming for. And I mean, I think that is an absolute option for our students. I would love it if they had students decided to sort of double down on that side of things and do every co-curricular, and because they're going to develop a lot of skills doing that, and they're going to create fantastic memories. So we have found that there's been a lot of sort of peer pressure to do the IB diploma, and in reality, it's not the best fit for every student. And we're hoping now that, because every student is going to find their own pathway through and their own challenges, and we're hoping that we're going to see a sort of an explosion of involvement in the student life side in grades 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah, that's great. So thanks for coming on to talk about that and just hearing you speak. Just the flexibility going forward. So if students want to go all in on academics, they can take 5 AP courses. But if a student's really interested in drama or music or athletics, then they could maybe take 1 and then focus on that. And then we're also offering other specialty courses for kids who are maybe interested in film or law or psychology. So that's, I think that makes a lot of sense. And IB diploma is a great program, but I think the flexibility going forward is pretty exciting.
It is a good program, and 2 things can be right at the same time. But I'm really excited for the future of our students and what we can offer them, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So if parents have questions, I guess they can reach out to you.
Yeah, come and speak to me. Give me an email. Happy to talk.
All right. Well, I think you're the first guest on the podcast to have a smooth English accent. A little envious of that. But yeah, you're a great guest. Thanks so much for coming on, and have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. It's been a pleasure taking you beyond the Grove. The show is hosted, produced, and edited by Mike Vincent and is an Aspengrove School production. Special thanks to Stu Setch for his generous contributions of equipment and expertise towards the creation of this podcast. Also thanks to Ojin Lee for the intro and outro music. You can find his other works on Spotify by searching for Ojin. Please stay tuned for future episodes as we continue to bring you highlights of all the exciting things happening in the AGS community. From all of us at Aspengrove School and me, your host, Mike Vincent, thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Grove. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.